Hey everybody, what's up? It's Alex here, and before we dive in, I want to ask you something. If you love all things Cowboys, trade rumors, player updates, and breaking NFL news, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss a video. Trust me, Eve got big things coming your way. Alright, let's get into today's juicy rumor. NFL rumors. Insider wonders if Rams would make a bombshell Brandon Aubrey trade with the Cowboys. Yep, you heard that right. Could Los Angeles try to steal away Dallas star kicker? Let's pull apart this rumor, see what makes sense, what doesn't, and what it would mean for the Cowboys. So here we go. Imagine this: you're the GM of the Rams. You're pushing to maximize your roster for a playoff run. You see a kicker who can hit from 60-plus yards consistently, who changes the math on fourth down, who makes frozen field goals look routine. That kicker is Brandon Aubrey, and insiders have floated the idea, what if the Rams try to pry him away from Dallas? ESPN even listed Aubrey among potential trade chips alongside names like Jonathan Mingo, Javonte Williams, and Motzie Smith as teams consider all-in moves. Now, before you dismiss it, there's logic in the rumor. Aubrey has become one of the most accurate long-range kickers in the league. In a recent game versus the Giants, he drilled a 64-yard game-tying field goal at the end of regulation, then added a 46-yard game winner in overtime. That kind of clutch performance gets people's attention. He's not just a gimmick, he changes the risk calculus in games. Defenses have to respect that Dallas can score from well beyond midfield. For a team that maybe lacks consistency in the kicking game, having someone like Aubrey can shift momentum. That's the spark that has people thinking, would a contender like the Rams try to bid? But of course there are major obstacles, and we have to weigh both sides. First, Dallas is reported to be wanting to extend Aubrey's contract. They see him as a core piece if Dallas locks him in long term. Trading him becomes much harder, plus the cost from the Rams would have to be enormous. Kickers rarely command premium picks. Could Aubrey be the exception? Some insiders wonder if a second-round pick could make sense, but even that might be too steep. Then there's roster and cap context. Dallas has to balance extensions for stars like Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and other core pieces, giving away a kicker while also trying to manage finances, and roster depth is tricky. On top of that, how many teams will give up draft capital for a kicker? Usually very few. Also worth noting, Aubrey is in the final year of his contract, so Dallas has motivation to lock him down. If they fail, he could become a restricted free agent or even a trade piece, but giving him up before securing his future seems risky. Let me take you through a hypothetical scenario. Rams offer something like a second-round pick plus a mid-rounder for Aubrey. The risk for them is small. They lose picks, but potentially gain an elite kicker who wins close games. For Dallas, the risk is losing arguably their most reliable special teams weapon and getting nothing in return if they fail to negotiate a long-term deal. If you're Dallas, you probably say no to deals unless the return is insane. The Cowboys have already looked to extend Aubrey, and since Aubrey is proving lethal from deep, the idea that they would just trade him seems low probability. That said, rumors are rumors. They stir interest, test the market, and force front offices to respond. Now, what would this trade mean for Dallas? If it did happen, you'd have to replace him not just with a kicker, but someone you trust to perform under pressure in cold weather and playoff conditions. That's not easy, and you'd be stuck justifying that you let go a difference maker for maybe a couple of picks. Unless Dallas had some secret kicker they're grooming, this would be a head-scratcher for fans. For the Rams, it would be a bold, splashy move. They'd be saying, "We want every edge." It could energize their special teams unit and give them scoring flexibility, but again, cost versus reward. Would that move prevent them from doing something else? So hey, race where I land. The rumor is fascinating and the idea isn't totally far-fetched given how good Aubrey is, but I don't see Dallas pulling the trigger unless the offer is massive and they have a backup plan. The more likely outcome is Dallas extends him and shuts down any serious trade chatter. All right, time for you to weigh in. What do you think? Would you trade away a kicker like Aubrey? What would you want in return? Drop it in the comments below. I read every one of them and I want to know your take. Also, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button. It helps the video reach more fans like you. That's it from me today. I'm Alex. I'll see you in the next video with more Cowboys rumors, roster moves, and all things Dallas. Don't forget to subscribe, ring that bell, and let's keep riding this season together. Peace out and go Cowboys.